The energy inside the stadium was electric, the kind of atmosphere where every point feels like history in the making. And on this unforgettable night, history did unfold, written by none other than 20-year-old Alex Eala, the pride of the Philippines. For years, Filipino fans have been waiting for this moment, hoping, dreaming, and believing that one of their own would finally break through on the world stage of tennis. And finally, it happened. Alex Eala captured her very first Women's Tennis Association title, conquering the Guadalajara 125 Open in Mexico. This wasn't just another victory on the circuit, it was the kind of win that cements a legacy, a victory that will be remembered as a turning point for Philippine sports. The young Filipina faced Hungary's seasoned competitor Punna Udvardy, ranked 134 in the world, and the battle was nothing short of epic. The opening set slipped away from Eala, leaving her trailing, but champions are not defined by how they start, they're defined by how they fight back. And fight back she did. With the eyes of her country on her, Eala unleashed her trademark grit, battling through nerves and pressure to storm back. She claimed the second set 7-5 and then delivered a decisive 6-3 finish in the third. That final point, when the ball sailed past her opponent and the match was hers, wasn't just about winning a trophy. It was about making history. Alex Eala became the first Filipino ever to win a WTA tournament title. Millions of Filipinos around the world watched with pride, knowing that a 20-year-old from their nation had just done what no one before her had achieved. The prize was $15,000, or nearly 878,000 pesos. But the money was just a footnote compared to the significance of the moment. The real victory was not in the check or the trophy, but in the barrier she broke down for future generations of tennis players from the Philippines. Eala's path to this title was anything but easy. In fact, her Guadalajara journey was a roller coaster that tested her resilience at every turn. In the round of 32, she opened against the Netherlands' Ariane Hartono and wasted no time making a statement, winning 6-2, 6-2. It was a performance that reminded everyone why her rise in the rankings has been so fast, controlled, confident, and relentless from start to finish, but the challenges grew tougher. In the round of 16, she squared off against Varvara Lipchenko from the United States. This match could have broken her spirit. It was rain-delayed, stretched long, and she lost the first set 6-7. Many players might have crumbled, but not Alex. Instead, she dug deep, rallied back with a 7-6 win in the second, and finished it off 6-3 in the third. A test of stamina, of mental toughness, and of sheer determination, qualities that would carry her all the way to the title. Just hours later, she was back on court for the quarterfinals against Italy's Nicole Fossa. Once again, her composure shone through. She edged the first set 7-6 and then rolled through the second 6-2, booking her place in the semi-finals. That semi-final clash came against Kayla Day of the United States, and it was perhaps one of her most impressive performances. At first, things looked grim. She was down 0-2 in the opening set. But then, something clicked. Eala found her rhythm, won 6 straight games, and took control. Day tried to mount a comeback in the second set, holding serve and applying pressure, but Eala was unshaken. She broke at a critical moment, sealed the set 6-3, and closed the match in just 68 minutes. It was clear, Alex was peaking at exactly the right time. This run to the final was already historic. After all, it was her second consecutive appearance in a WTA final, following her narrow loss to Maya Joint of Australia at the Eastbourne WTA 250 earlier this year. But this time, she wasn't going to let the opportunity slip away. Standing across the net in the championship match was Udvardy, a dangerous opponent with pedigree. She had won the Argentine Open in 2022 and even reached the second round of Wimbledon. To make it even more dramatic, Udvardy had already beaten Eala earlier this year in Portugal. It was personal. It was about revenge, redemption, and proving that she belonged among the best. The first set went to Udvardy, 6-1. For a moment, it felt like history might have to wait. But champions respond in the darkest moments, and Alex Eala was not about to go home empty-handed. With her back against the wall, she clawed her way through the second set, battling every point, every rally, every serve. She edged it out, 7-5, swinging the momentum in her favor. The third set was all heart. Both players fought with everything they had, but Eala's belief never wavered. She struck clean winners, chased down impossible shots, and kept her composure when it mattered most. At 6-3, it was over. Eala was the champion. This victory didn't just lift her trophy count. It lifted her world ranking. Previously sitting at 75, she is now projected to rise to number 62 in the WTA rankings, the highest of her career so far. For a player just 20 years old, the sky is the limit, but what makes this triumph so special isn't just the ranking points or the silverware. It's the story of perseverance. It's about the sacrifices she made, training abroad at a young age, staying away from home, missing family moments, all to chase a dream. It's about representing a nation that has rarely been spoken about in global tennis, and suddenly making it impossible to ignore. This is a continuation of a breakout year for Eala. Just 2 weeks ago, she was making headlines at the US Open, where she etched her name into history books yet again. And now, she has delivered the Philippines its very first WTA tournament crown. Her journey is far from over, but one thing is certain: this victory has changed everything. She is no longer just a rising star, she is a champion, a pioneer, and a symbol of hope for the next generation of Filipino athletes. Eala, the name that will be spoken with pride for years to come, has finally claimed her place in tennis history. And this is only the beginning.